Good morning, world. It is Friday, January 14th. It's a Freestyle Friday. Y'all know how we get it done in here, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boy. I've already been up for like 2 hours already. I'm off a Red Bull, a cup of coffee, and I'm ready to fight God or become him. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. That's what I'm talking about, man. How y'all feeling this morning? I'm coming with the good energy today. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Got the morning breeze back in the morning, man. We got a lot of stuff to get into today, man. Dave Cully has been fired by the Houston Texans, and many of the coaching searches still continue. But is it a problem with the NFL that there's only one active black head coach? Diversity's seemingly always been an issue when you get past the player side of things. Is that issue continuing here, or is it just a situation where, hey, they lost? We all knew, we kind of all knew Dave Cully was going to get fired. Is it that kind of situation there? Also, going to be playing the playoff prediction game. Little game we're going to do on here where we get all of the numbers together. Y'all going to get my predictions live on the air. We're going to gather all the predictions from the week, add up a score count on them, man. By the end of it, we get somebody something real nice. You know what I'm saying? Then we got to get into a little bit of NBA, dog. Got to break down some NBA. Because the Atlanta Hawks got a fire sale going on, and we got to ask the question, should the Bulls be in on it? The Atlanta Hawks absolutely get moving on from Cam Reddish last night, bringing back Knox and a pick from the New York Knicks. Is it worth it? And then we're going to get into this Bulls Golden State game tonight. And, of course, a little bit around the NBA, man, because what Ja Morant is doing to the league right now is hilarious, and I'm loving every minute of it. Also, by the way, for all the Bulls fans, just in case you were wondering, yes, Brooklyn did lose last night to the Oklahoma City Thunder by like 20-something, so it's okay. All that and more, man. All that and more. Let's get this thing cracking. Let's get it started, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with your boy. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page, man. We do this every morning. We got 8 people in the chat already. I should have 8 likes on the video. Let's get it cracking. Let's start it off right. First things first, how y'all doing this morning? I'm going to tell you why I've been up for 2 hours, right? And it's honestly, Muzz might be surprised, right? My daughter is 6 months old. Almost 7 months. I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm not doing the whole what the new parents be doing, or I guess parents always have done it, where they sit there and count how many months she is up to like 108 months or something. Like, I ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? She almost 7 months. They be counting the days and the hours. So this morning, I actually got some sleep last night, which is a miracle, Christmas miracle in itself. You know what I'm saying? And so I get up. Wife asked me, babe, can you change the baby? I wake up refreshed. It's like 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm up. Listen, let's do it. Changing the baby. I was definitely planning on, laying back down, just kind of sitting in the bed, getting some topics together for the show, stuff like that. Had my first moment where I can absolutely say I am a father. So, changing the baby diaper, you know what you do. Yeah, little girl, yeah, throw the legs up, do a little white. Turned for a second. Pow! I've been shot. Oh no. Please, Lord. Not in the morning. I gotta go to work. Good Lord God, no. I don't sleep in a shirt. Stomach, sheets, table, dog. She got some distance, is what I'm saying. I thought it was gas. It was not. It was a tough start to the morning. It's tough to overcome that. But since then, I've gotten a lot done. Wasn't expecting that in the morning. It's my first moment where I woke up and I said, well, I can officially say I'm in the parenting game. My wife just she's like, throw a towel over, go to sleep. What? No, that's it. I'm up. It's done. What? You can't go back to bed after that. Y'all going back to bed after that? Y'all are up with me. You can't go back to bed after that. What are we talking about? I catch a fecal shotgun shot to the stomach to start the day, and I'm supposed to go back to bed. That's over. That's done. Bed's over. We're up. We all up. Everybody's up. I'm turning lights on in the house. Hey, let's go. The dogs are going outside. Let's get it done, man. I'm not starting the morning off like this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What are we talking about here? Mike Davidson in the chat said friendly fire. Yeah, okay, friendly for who? And you got to adjust your brain. I almost uppercutted a baby this morning. you gotta fully adjust your brain. Like, wait a minute, this is your daughter, dog. You can't. She don't know no better. She a baby. She can't do nothing about it. I'm just saying, it was a tough start to the morning. But I'm up. I'm excited. I'm glad to be here. We got us a Freestyle Friday. We got a lot of news to break down. We got a lot of stuff going on in our own city here in Chicago. We got a lot of stuff going on across the nation here right now, especially when it comes to breaking down stuff on the football side of things. There's a lot happening. It started off on a topic that might be a little too uncomfortable for the morning for some people, but hey, it's a topic that we haven't. Because yesterday, and it shouldn't be uncomfortable for you, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be. If you're uncomfortable by it, there might be the problem. But we're seeing that the coaching searches are continue, and the Houston Texans have thrown their hat in the ring on the coaching search. They fired Dave Cully, which in itself to me is a bad look as a team, right? He's only given a year to be successful with a team that you knew 110% was not going to be successful. Older coach, 65. Didn't show a lot, 4 wins, but the Texans had fight all year, right? Robert Schwartz in the building was good. And so I'm not one of those people that just off the rip, hey, there's one black head coach in the NFL. This is sad. It needs to change, right? I want to look at it situation by situation. I want to look at it. Every situation is different. Were they successful? Were they not successful? Did they make this happen? Did they not make this happen? Were they given a fair shot? As far as Brian Flores, there was a rift. Now, personally, do I think that on the other side of things, if he were a white head coach and winning, he might have been given a little more rope? Yeah, I do. But Brian Flores was winning, right? That's the big difference. That's where the conversation starts, right? 5-11 team first year, flips it around 10-6 next year. This year goes on a tough losing streak, brings it back. He can't control the teams he plays in that second half of the season. You either beat him or you don't. And we all believe he has subpar talent on that team. Most of us believe Tua Tagovailoa is not a good quarterback. And he finished it with a winning record. Do we give him that Matt Nagy treatment or do we give him the Brian Flores treatment or the treatment that he got? and the reason I bring up Nagy is because he to me is somebody that you have to look at, right? And that's why I say everything is situation by situation. It's not just across the board. Everything is situation by situation. In Brian Flores' case, there was a rift between him and the GM, and the owner chose the side of Tua and the GM. The GM wants to stick with Tua. He wants to continue to have Tua as the quarterback. Brian Flores seems to be the intelligent one here, and he says, listen, Tua's not your franchise quarterback. Let's go get Deshaun Watson. Why anybody would not want to go get Deshaun Watson, even with everything he's got going on with your franchise and the state that it is in, I don't understand that. I would take a shot on it just in case. Because at a minimum, I know we're not going to be in a worse situation if Deshaun doesn't play and Tua's not here, because I can find that guy. So Brian Flores' situation is one thing. Like I said, the reason I bring up Nagy is because there wasn't a rift, right? Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy were hand in hand. They were side by side. They were walking down this thing together. That's why they got so much time. And Dave Cully's situation, which him being fired is it leaves Mike Tomlin as the only African-American head coach left, the only black head coach left in the NFL. When Dave Cully took that job, you knew he was going to be fired. He was not allowed to bring in the people he wanted to bring in. He did get Lovie Smith in there, the offensive coordinator. Halfway through the season, they wanted him to get rid of the offensive coordinator that was in place. Dave Cully stands by his guy. And he's removed as the head coach. To me, this is a continuous look at the ineptitude that is the Houston Texans, right? This is a continuous look at, since Rick Smith has been out of the building, how far that franchise has fallen. The ineptitude. And I'm going to be honest with you now. Listen, it's one of 32 jobs in the NFL. There's going to be somebody who's going to take the Houston Texans head coaching job, just like Dave Cully did. You know why? Because he was what, 64 when he took that job. You never know when he's going to get that next shot at it. You never know. So I get him taking the job, but when he took the job, you knew he wasn't going to be the long-term answer for them. You pretty much knew he was going to be removed as head coach coming into this season. And I think the hard part is, like, how do you begrudge somebody for taking, one, the pay raise, but taking the job of being a head coach in the NFL, taking their shot, saying, listen, in my mind, if I turn this around, they'll keep me around. Now, they didn't turn it around. They didn't have the talent. They had a ton of injuries. You lost Will Fuller to a suspension and to injury. You lost Tyrod Taylor, who was actually playing pretty well for the Texans for a little while there. You lost a lot of pieces there. And here's the part that it is for me, right? Did Dave Cully do enough to keep his job in Houston? And so the part that I have to look at and ask is, say, okay, did he do enough? How much fight did that team have? Did that team outplay its talent? Did that team outplay its talent? 4-win team. What's that? 4-13 they went. How much credit do we give just for them competing, coming into a season this way? How much credit? Because listen, even last season, right? This is how bad this team is. Even last season with Deshaun Watson in there, they did not win. And we all know what Deshaun Watson is. We know the kind of player he is. Even last season with Deshaun Watson in there, they did. That's how bad this team is. So did this team outplay its talent? And to me, I look at this as the continuous ineptitude of the Houston Texans. And if I'm the next head coach that wants to come in there, you're giving me a 6-year deal. You're going to guarantee me at a minimum a half a decade. You know why? Because you're so far in this dumpster fire, there's no fixing this in 2 years. You're so far into this dumpster fire, there's no fixing this quickly. I have to turn around this entire franchise. And guess what? You're not going to put me on the 1-year deal that you gave Dave Cully. And so I honestly believe, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they have a chance at this guy. They have a chance. I don't think that there's any big name coach with respect for himself that is going to take that job. I don't. I don't feel that there's any big name head coach with respect for himself that is willing to take the Houston Texans job. I don't care that there's one of 32. There's a lot, like the names that have been on the table. There's some good coaching candidate names this year, right? Let's run through them real quick. Why would Brian Daboll want to go there? Why would Byron Leftwich want to go there? Why would Brian Flores want to go there? Now, maybe Brian Flores wants to go there because of the Deshaun Watson angle, but Deshaun don't want to play for that team either. For a lot of the same inept reasons that you just got rid of the guy who actually had your team competitive with very little talent. Now, I'm not saying that Dave Cully did a great job. 4-13. It speaks for himself. But why would Brian Flores go there to try and get with Deshaun on the same team that Deshaun doesn't want to be on? Now, maybe Houston views this as the only shot that at getting him, and maybe they offer him. Now, I'll say this, right? Everybody in the NFL, everybody's pretty much got a price, right? You throw a 10-year deal at Brian Flores, yeah, maybe he sticks it out there. Ridiculous money. Yeah, maybe he sticks it out there, right? Maybe he takes that job. But that's what it's going to take. There's nothing respectable about the Houston Texans. Do I think that Dave Cully did an amazing job on that team? I don't. But I also don't think that there's talent there. I also don't think, do I think that they played above what they were? Yeah. Do I think that he was given a fair shake at the job? No. When I come into the job and you tell me, hey, you don't want my coordinators to come in. What? What'd you give me the job for? I'm the placeholder, right? Okay. And that's the problem with where a lot of these jobs are. Now, you have to take into account a lot of these jobs didn't have turnover there. We're talking about 6 jobs this year. A lot of these jobs didn't have turnover, and I mean, let me go through. Let me look at the teams here because I want to make sure I'm speaking factually on this topic because it is a serious topic, right? It's one of those where you're asking yourself, is the Rooney Rule basically just a formality at this point? Which I think most of us believe it is. And I'll tell you what, as much as people wanted to rag on the Bears and a lot of stuff, it's the reason why the Bears have been such a big part of the diversity programs that have been started in this league. It's a big reason why the Bears have been such a part of a lot of the programs that are pushing coaches of color to the forefront. And I honestly think we're going to end up with a coach of color this offseason and possibly a GM of color as well. But I want to go through the list of coaches here and see. So Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona, he's probably going to stick it out. Arthur Smith in Atlanta, 7-10 season, not bad seeing as the talent they had was literally just Cordero Patterson. And they went through a ton of injuries. Got Kyle Pitts as well. John Harbaugh, he's not going anywhere. Sean McDermott, he's not going anywhere. Matt Rule probably should be moved on from, but they held on to him. Zach Taylor in Cincy, he's not going nowhere. Kevin Stefanski, that's a tough one, but I guess he's going to stick it out. McCarthy's winning. Dan Campbell with the Lions. See, that's a situation that's comparable to me, right? That's a situation that's comparable. Dan Campbell's sticking it out with the Lions. Now, the Lions are a dumpster fire in themselves, but it's because there's a deficiency of talent. When there's a deficiency of talent, you don't base the head coach on wins and losses. When there's a deficiency of talent, you base the head coach on, did your scheme work with less talent? Were you competitive in these games? Were you moving the needle? Dan Campbell moved the needle. Where's Don Burr when you need him? Dan Campbell moved the needle. Three and 13. That team fought for him. That team rallied around him. Right? That's how you base your assumption on the head coach. And I think the Texans did a lot of the same. Yeah, they got beat. They were going out to war with Davis Mills at one point, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course they got beat. Frank Wright in Indianapolis. Darren Bevel, he stepped in Jacksonville. Jacksonville job is open. Andy Reid in Kansas City, he's not going anywhere. Vegas job is open. Brandon Staley, he ain't going nowhere. Sean McVay ain't going nowhere. Bill Belichick ain't going nowhere. Sean Payton ain't going. So I would say out of the 32 teams, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Terrible. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. Matt LaFleur, I forgot about. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 jobs. 17 jobs that should be guaranteed. And you've got another 5 or 6 where the guy's in his first year, second year, and you've got another, you know what I'm saying? So there's not a ton of jobs that are just available, is the point I'm making. Like, there wasn't going to be a ton of change. Out of 32 teams, 17 of them, you were going to see absolutely 0% that there was going to be a change at head coach. Then you got maybe another 5, 10 where there was a 5 to 8, where there was a question mark on whether there was going to be a change of head coach. But this guy's in a first year kind of thing. He wants to see how the fight's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So the jobs that you see now are the only ones available. And now you're asking yourself, okay, is the process flawed? Why was Cully fired and Campbell not? And it's not an apples to apples situation at all. But I can see that both of these guys had similar things happen, deficiencies of talent, things like that. And honestly, one of them, listen, Detroit's not a good team either. But when I look at Houston, that is a dumpster fire that's been pushed off the edge of a cliff. In Detroit, at a minimum, I can say they looked at the head coach and the job that he did. Now, does that mean down in Houston, they looked at the color of his skin and said, hey, we got to get this guy out of here because he's up there? Does that mean that they looked at his age and said, we got to get – I don't know. I can't say for sure. But I'll tell you this. There shouldn't be, when those 7 question mark jobs come, the Rooney Rule shouldn't be a formality to get things out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Dave Cully taking that job down in Houston was hey, I need somebody to fill this head coaching position. You're the best of the bunch because nobody really wanted this job. Here you go. By the way, we've got some requirements. Huh? What? And I don't begrudge Dave Cully for taking it. 64 years old. How many opportunities are you going to get to bite at the apple? But when I look at the way that these coaches are being kind of looked over continuously, this offseason will tell me a lot. Honestly. How many of the coaches that are available are black? As well as GMs, right? How many of them? Leftwich, Bieniemy, Flores. These are guys that should all have jobs. These are guys that should all have head coaching opportunities. And I'm not talking about one and dones. These are guys that should be allowed to build a program. Heck, 2 of them are Super Bowl champions. Two of them are Super Bowl champions. They should be allowed the opportunity to build up their programs, just like Dave Cully should have been allowed the opportunity to build up his program. But he was handcuffed from the word go. So it's gonna be interesting to see this offseason whether the change, because we heard George talk about the diversity. I can't remember the name of the program it was that Tanisha Wade is a part of for the Bears, and that is a league wide program. That's something that the NFL is pushing. That's something that the NFL is moving into, trying to get it so that the Rooney Rule is not just a formality. And I think we're seeing that with a lot of the Bears are going hard right now. Be proud of your franchise for one thing at a minimum, Bears fans. Most of the names that we've heard in GM spots alone have been people of color. The Bears are not just looking at one thing. They're looking at the resume. I can say that. Rick Smith said, I'm interested. Boom. Rick Smith's interested. Get him in the building. We need to talk to him. Now, his best move as a GM was a layup. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? His best move as a GM was a layup. Yeah, you go get it. Hey, the Bears screwed up and didn't take Deshaun. Get him in the building. They didn't even interview him. Get him in the building. But be proud of your team for one thing, Bears fans. There's not much we can be proud of them for. The 36 inches of bear head is over there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? There's not much we got to be proud of them for. But they're not. They're looking at pure resume right now. Now they're taking the shotgun approach like I had to deal with this morning here, but be proud of your team for that at least. Shout out to the chat for being in here, man. Rocking with us. EJ says, yeah, but a lot of teams don't trust coordinators to become successful head coaches, in my opinion. I don't believe that. I mean, I don't know many head coaches that weren't coordinators. The ones that weren't, we kind of like laud them in lore. Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh. And they were still technically coordinators, but I'm assuming you talk about like offensive and defensive. You know, but most of the coaches that are coming up now are coordinators, and the thing is, you know what? That's where it starts, right? That's how you get it going. That's how you get the trend changing, and I think that we've seen that a lot more. You're seeing more people of color being coordinators and getting those interviews because they're coordinators on successful teams. There's definitely a problem where they're not getting the head coaching jobs, but like I said, what I say? 17 of these jobs are stable jobs right now. 17 of these jobs are jobs where uh 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 there's not going to be movement unless something drastic happens. And a couple of those, there's not going to be movement anyway. You know what I'm saying? Peyton, Reed, Belichick. You're not moving on from those guys until they say, all right, I'm done. So there's not a ton of movement around the league, but the jobs that are available now, the best candidates are people of color. In my opinion, the candidates that we've talked about most, the candidates that we've consistently and so this offseason will show me a lot. This offseason will show me a lot. A lot of the top GM candidates we're talking about right now have been people of color. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be real tough if what's his name, Morocco from Indianapolis comes in here because y'all already hitting me with the jokes on the hey man, let your brother know, man, we'll take him here. Come on, dog. Y'all gotta relax. Y'all gotta relax. So this offseason is gonna show me a lot. It's gonna show me whether we're really moving forward in this process or if the Rooney Rule is still a formality. And see, here's the thing, right? So this is the crazy part about how much of a formality it is. The Bears put in, who was the first candidate we saw, right? Bears said, I want to interview Leslie Frazier. First thing I thought, man, they're getting the Rooney Rule out the way quick, ain't they? First thing I thought. Not even thinking like, oh, the Bears have been like at the forefront of a lot of the diversity that's even in the NFL. Not even thinking, oh man, the Bears have drafted the first black quarterback. Most of our favorite players are black. Most of our icons are black in this and on this team. First black head coach in the Super Bowl, which they be trying to give it to Tony Dungy. Nah. Our game ended first. We were the first black head coach in the Super Bowl. But you know what I'm saying? Like, coming into this season, if we don't see like that was the first place my mind went. It was, man, they getting the Rooney Rule out the way quick, ain't they? That's how the rule has been used. It was put in place to give people of color an opportunity. But it hasn't been effective in that consistently. It's worked for coordinator jobs, but those head coaching positions. And so I look at this year, I mean, honestly, your best head coaching candidates are going to be, your best GM candidates to me are going to be people of color. And so how is that going to affect the league, especially at the GM position? The best candidate on the table is Rick Smith right now at the GM position. Based on background, based on what he did before, based on what the success that he's built. An AFC title team that should have gotten in, that was a couple of crazy plays away from being in the Super Bowl. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what the NFL does this offseason, how a lot of these players are, or how a lot of these people are put in place. Black Rain says Smith will be a good GM. He actually has a track record with his first round picks. Yeah, no, hey, listen, go look at that 2017 draft. Go look at that 2017 draft. Cornerstone pieces. Mike Davison says your bro Morocco was already in office. He could have let you know what's real, maybe even giving you a press pass. See, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to see him in the building for the jokes. I don't care. I don't care if he makes the Bears successful, dog. The joke. I'm not dealing with the jokes for the rest of my days. Caswell says Rick Smith has to be the top choice. Throw as much money as it takes at him to compete with the other vacancies. No, facts. He has to be the top choice. He is to me the top candidate because I've seen his draft record, because I've seen his history of building a team. There's a ton of evidence there that, hey, guess what? He took a dumpster fire, which it was a dumpster fire before. He took a dumpster fire and turned it into a successful franchise. His first year, he drafted J.J. Watt, I believe, right? I believe his first draft, he drafted J.J. Watt. He turned a dumpster fire into an AFC title contender. In what, 4 years? 5 years? And so it's one of those things where I'm looking at if he's not your top candidate, if he's not the guy that you hand the blank check to, what are you doing? If he's not the guy that you walk in and he should have came in yesterday because I think he interviewed third yesterday, right? They should have just walked him in and just been like, sir, we've already got your name on the office. Have a seat. We bought you one of the finest chairs on the market. We've got you a mahogany desk here. We've already actually got the contracts on the right side if you want to sign or decline anybody. Start building the team in your image. By the way, George is on his way down with the checkbook. How many zeros you looking to have? You a 7-0 guy? Okay, he's a 7-0 guy. Let's get 7 zeros on that thing, right? He's a 7-0 guy. Years wise, how many zeros we looking on that? Oh, you want at least one? Okay, all right. Give him 1 0 on the years and the number in front of that. 20 might be a little much. 10? 10 years? 10 years. Proven success. Takes time to turn this thing around. AJ says, what head coach would you take? And what do you think the Bears would say? Listen, it's about if he wants to come here, but if Brian Flores isn't your number one option, Brian Flores won 9 games and 10 games with a quarterback that in Miami they believe is similar to the skill set that Justin Fields has. And which is wild that you pick the quarterback and the GM over Tua, over the head coach, I should say. But they believe that he is, similar to Justin Fields. So if that's the case, Brian, come on in. Hey, he wanted to work with Deshaun. We've got what we hope to be the younger version of him. Come on in. Can you make that work? You got a system for that? Can you build a team for that? Do you have coordinators that can develop? You do. Okay. You're a respectable guy. Okay. Hey, get in the building. Let's do it. Mike Davidson says Flores is supposed to interview today. And I'm going to tell you this. Shout out to the Panama Queen. She says Flores could do wonders with Justin. Good morning, Pat. Shout out to you for pulling up. I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm looking at Brian Flores as a guy that adds 3 wins to this team quickly. I'm looking at Brian Flores as a guy that comes into the building and immediately brings stability and success and doesn't take you the other direction. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. You don't want a guy to start like you're not at scratch, unfortunately. You're not starting from scratch because you've given up so much capital to make this quarterback successful. So you're not starting at scratch. You're starting at a certain point. You're starting at a 6-10 point. We should not go the other way. And you're starting at that point with a ton of injuries on the season, COVID-19, everywhere we look. And so I think that Brian Flores comes in and does a good job here. Steve-O says, you argue that Brian did. We can argue that Brian didn't do the best job to help develop Tua, just how Nagy was with Mitch. What do you think about that, Pat? Brian told you the truth, though. Brian didn't believe in Tua. Brian told you the truth. Brian was trying to actively trade or get the GM to trade Tua for Deshaun Watson, which, by the way, is another layup. So, yeah, Brian probably didn't believe in Tua. But he was honest with you about it. You know what Matt kept saying? Hey, we're going to work with Mitch. We're going to get him right. We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to get the offense on point. We're going to get, you know what I'm saying? And while not believing in Tua, still went 10-6 and 9-8. Now again, caveats to everything, right? Third place record. So you're playing third place teams, minus the ones in your division. You go on that 8-game run versus some of the worst teams in the league. That is true. But to me, there's a lot more feathers in his cap than there are ones against him. Tua finished the year 67% completion rating, 2,600 yards. He wasn't really throwing that thing a lot either. You can tell the games where he was throwing it a lot because it's just like, my God, you were not completing passes. Finishes with a 90 overall QBR, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And as much as you want to say didn't develop him, better than last year. Moved him in the right direction. I'm not saying he's the oh my God choice. He's the this guy has to be the option. This guy has to get moved into the room. But I look at him and I say, hey, this dude is probably the most competent of the bunch that we have right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's probably the most competent of the bunch that we have right now. He's probably the best head coaching option that's out there right now, because you already know that he's got that cachet. And for the Bears, listen, third place schedule next year, y'all. At a minimum, third place schedule next year. We know we're going to be playing those lesser teams. So it's gonna be interesting to see, like I said, how this offseason plays out, how a lot goes into this, what ends up coming from this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be a lot that is gonna be interesting to see with all the teams around this league. To me, the Houston Texans job is the most interesting now, because I wouldn't take that job unless you offered me a minimum of half a decade. I don't think any respectable head coach, Doug Peterson, Brian Daboll, whatever it is, I don't think any respectable head coach takes that job unless you offer me a half a decade, because you're going to give me time to fix this. You're going to give me time to fix this. Robert says, I like Rick Smith for a GM. His track record is good for a GM, and he is aggressive in free agency. The first question the Bears should be asking is, how you going to fix this O-line immediately? How are you going to fix this O-line first off the bat? How are you going to protect my quarterback asset? First question that should come out of unfortunately George, but out of George's mouth. Shout out to Samurai J. Says, yo, I know I'm late, but when Nagy asks George about Fields, that's like your chef asking you for cooking advice. Now, that's a great way to put it, though. I'd have known at that moment, yeah, this dude's got to get up out of here, dog. He's not intelligent. There's no way. This dude's got to get up out of here. It's going to be an interesting offseason with all of the vacancies, because again, you know, I look at Rick Smith, I look at Brian Flores, Brian Daboll, guys like that, and my biggest question, listen, everybody else's question is, can the Bears throw enough money at him? Can they do this? Can they keep him away? My biggest question is, why would he want to come here? Is this the best available job? That's the question to me. Is this the best available job that's on the market? If you can 100% say yeah, then okay, but I can't. Especially if I'm a GM. If I'm a GM, I love New York. I love New York if I'm a GM, honestly. Because I'm looking at New York as, I can do everything. And they got picks. And they got a stud running back that's absolutely getting traded the second I walk through the door. That's what you got to figure out. Where do these jobs rank? Who's going to end up where? Who's got the most enticing job? To me, it's the New York Giants. Think about it. As a GM, there's no coach in place. I don't got to fire nobody the second I get there. I have full autonomy to do what I want to do. I have full autonomy to do what I want to do. I walk in the door, boom. Couple of picks. Let's get the draft things figured out. Let's figure out what's going on here. Let's look at what we're doing at the quarterback position. Hey, why is that running back making so much money? Get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody sent me a third for him. And you're going to be looked at crazy. You gave up a third for Saquon Barkley. Who cares, bro? Who cares? He ran 2,000. He had 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Great. We lost a lot. We've never had a winning record in the last 5 years. Get him out of here. But as a GM, that's the best job to me. What is it, Nick Caserio in Houston? Yeah, I'm not going there. I don't want to be a part of that. I want nothing to do with that. And so that's the way I look at it. It's not so much are the Bears going, because I think the Bears are going to make two offers today. I think they're going to offer Rick Smith the job. I think they're going to offer Brian Flores the job after he leaves. That doesn't mean that they're going to end up there. That doesn't mean that they want the job. A lot of these, listen, when you're at a level like Brian Flores is that, you're taking interviews just to see. It's a formality. Yeah, let's see what they're talking about. Yeah, let's see what's going on there. So if I'm looking at where these jobs fall, man, I'm looking in a completely different spot. I'm looking at, what do we say? I mean, for Kidd, to me, the Vikings job ain't a good one, but I don't believe in Kirk Cousins in that contract. I just don't. But maybe as a GM, listen, I got Justin Jefferson here. I've got all my draft capital. Kirk Cousins is here, yeah, but I can draft his replacement. Wait till the contract rides out. He's not the worst bridge quarterback ever. We finish this thing out. We try to win in the process. I can see why the Bears' job would be below the Vikings on Kidd's list. I can see it. You got to rebuild that defense? Absolutely. I got a full slate of draft picks to do it. I've got a number one receiver. I've got a superstar running back. I've got a quarterback who is, by the numbers, pretty good. I can make this work until I find his replacement. By the way, I need to continue to build up this O-line. By the way, I need to fix the defense. I have the full slate. So, yes, I would love to see these guys here, the biggest names here, but I'm not fooling myself into believing that we're the most enticing opportunity there is. The whole, it's the charter franchise. It's one of the original franchises in the NFL. Nobody cares about that anymore. Nobody cares that George Halas started the NFL. No one cares. Sad to say, but George Halas' heyday was a long time ago, and he's been dead for a while. If anything, he's just been turning in his grave for the last 30 years. By the way, anybody else find it weird that George McCaskey didn't call George Halas grandpa? He just called him like, hey, George. That was George Halas? What? That was a weirdo? We're talking about the now. We're talking about the now. We're talking about right now. To me, the amount that you have to deal with ownership, to me, the amount that you got to come in here and look at, I got to fix this. Oh, by the way, what picks we got? Where are the picks? There's a few jobs I'm looking at before this one. And as a head coach, heck, if I'm Brian Flores, what's good in Vegas? Yeah, I got to fix some things, but guess what? I got a quarterback there. They in the playoffs. So it's about it's about finding the job that you're going to be successful in for a long time. It's about finding a job you're going to be successful in for a long time. Now, granted, you're going to be given time here. But can you be successful here? Can you build a good football team here? That's the question. It's a question in Houston. Vikings at a minimum have pieces in place. It's a question in Jacksonville. Are we the most enticing job? That I can't say yes. I can't come on here in good faith and give y'all my opinion and be like, yeah, we are. We're not. To be honest with you, the only reason we're in the top 5 is because it takes 5 teams, and there's only 7 with vacancies. To me, Bears are like 4th or 5th. Depending on who ends up getting fired post playoffs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're going to keep my boy out in Vegas at the coaching position, even though he's done a good job out there getting them to the playoffs and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like that Vegas job is more enticing to me too. Pieces in place already. Pieces in place is big. What are you telling me? I can walk like let's be real, right? Bruce Arians walked into the Tampa Bay job, had Jameis in the building. All right. Realized Jameis was not the answer pretty quick when he went 30 and 30, had his own 30 for 30. And yeah, the GOAT walked in there. Got to handpick some of his pieces. But what they really had? You know what I'm saying? Gronk and AB. A lot of those pieces were already in place. It's about having the pieces in place. K Steele says we'll see. We'll see. Jacksonville has $70 million in cap space, and it's down in Florida and no tax to do. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have no cap, we have no picks. We've got a couple pieces that we hope are great. But are we going to get the best names to come here on hopes and dreams? Jacksonville at a minimum has cap and picks and the first pick. Maybe it's because I'm here, but there's a lot more jobs that are enticing than the Chicago Bears to me. There's a lot of jobs out there that are more enticing to me than Chicago Bears. But what it comes down to is the Chicago Bears are 1 of 32. And so I'd rather be in a position to have a job than not. It's tough, dog. It's tough. Mike Davis says we're actually in the top 10 projected for cap space this offseason. Yeah, but you got to re-sign. Well, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? We're in the top 10 because there's a bunch of contracts coming up this year that Ryan Pace has pushed off, and they're finally coming to an end. You still got to have 53 on the roster. You still got to have 50. You know what I'm saying? If he's smart, if whoever comes in here is smart, first thing I'm doing is going to buy a left tackle. First thing I'm doing. So there's a chunk of your cap space right there. In my opinion. I wouldn't want a young day. Listen, I've seen Tevin play. I really think Tevin's going to be a heck of a tackle. I'd rather have him play right. I'd rather have him play his position. I'm going out. I'm spending a bunch of money on a left tackle, and we'll figure it out from there. Because if Justin's going to be successful, I need to protect him. Broken down a lot here this morning, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with your boy as always, man. If y'all haven't done so, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We're trying to get this thing off of the ground, trying to get this thing moving in the right direction, man. If you guys can't stick around for the full morning show, we also want to let you know that you can listen live over on the Contender app. It's in the App Store, wherever you get your apps at. Go on over there and check out the Contender app. You get nonstop sports talk while you're on the clock. If you're at work, you can't really, you know what I'm saying, have YouTube going. You throw the earbuds in, though. You can give us a listen. We're live on there Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us this morning, man. I really do. I really do. Also want to let you know, support for the Windy City Breeze is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Got it right here, fellas. Yeah, you know I'm saying right here on the tiny part of the screen. Don't worry about that. You heard it here right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the promo code BREEZE, BREEZE, at manscaped.com. Let me tell you a little bit about the trimmer, fellas. This upgraded trimmer includes multifunction on-off switch that can engage travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for more of a precise shave. Did I mention wireless charging? The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help the battery last longer. And fellas, you got to understand, this is not just about cleaning up down below. This is a full body trimmer, and it comes with a full array. This is the first product that is for us. You know what I'm saying? This is for us. You got the crop reviver, the crop preserver, which for the bigger dudes, I keep telling y'all, I'm sitting in this leather chair 5 to 6 hours a day. This is a game changer, fellas. Stop powdering down there. You know, a little talcum, you end up with some problems later in life. This is the game changer here. Keep you nice and free of the chafe. Keep you nice and free from the sweat. Yeah, it gets the job done, especially for our blue collar guys out there. And it all comes with that great smell. You got your shampoos, you got your conditioner, your body wash, stuff like that, man. Comes with a great smell. Your lady's going to be all over you, man. Manscaped.com. Make sure you guys hit the link in the description below with the promo code BREEZE for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Free worldwide shipping. Fellas, your balls will thank you. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with me this morning, man. Let's switch gears. Let's do a little playoff prediction here, right, fellas? Let's do a little playoff prediction, all right? By the way, if there's any ladies in here as well, you know what I'm saying. Men kind of suck at buying stuff for themselves. So if there's any ladies in here as well, cop that for your man. Cop the Manscaped for your guy. You're gonna love the way he smells. He's gonna love the way he feels. I'm gonna leave that next joke alone. Let's get into a little NFL playoff prediction. Because we got super wild card weekend. We got football on Saturday. We got football on Sunday. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. I love when we get to this point in the season. I love when we get to this point in the season. It's just so much football. And we might be getting a little bit of snow today as well. So snowed in on the weekend, do a little cleaning out the driveway, a little salt on the driveway. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in the house watching football. Honey, can't go anywhere. There's football on, babe. What do you mean? What do you mean? Let's break this down. So the prediction game here, and I'm trying to get the full crew in on this, right? So I'm talking about the boys over at the Contender, Rob and James. We're gonna get Kidd to send in his picks. We're gonna get AD, Ringo, all of them to send in picks. My goal here is to end up getting a game in where we go through it. We play, pick the team, you pick the score. This is how the point system works. I want this on video. If you pick the winning team, you get a point. If you pick the winning team, you get a point. If you pick the winning score, you get 3 points. So picking the winning score in one game, you can pick 3 wrong winning teams, still be in the competition. Because picking the winning score is going to be that big. Y'all can play along at home as well. Send your picks in. But what I want to do with this is get a team game going here where we keep score, where we're all competing at it. Let's see who really knows what they're talking about. Let's see who's really out here breaking this stuff down at its finest. So I'm going to start it off, right? We got our Saturday slate of games. We got Bengals at Raiders. We got the Bengals at the Raiders. How does this game shape up? To me, this is going to be a tough fought game because I think this is a team where, listen, not for nothing, y'all, it's going to be scary to see Joe Burrow dealing with Max Crosby. It's going to be scary. He was coming off of the edge. Ridiculous. How does Joe Burrow deal with that? How does Joe Burrow handle that pressure that is going to be in his face all day? I'm going to start this thing off, and I'm going to write it down. I'm not going to lie to you because I want it to be known. Everybody that's listening in, man, write your picks down. I'm going. I want to go Bengals in this one because I love the connection between Chase and Burrow. I love that connection. But the Raiders is such a tough one, right? Especially when you know that coming off of the edge, they're going to be able to get pressure on Burrow. Even though Burrow's been able to deal with the pressure, how much is he going to get? You know what? I'm going Raiders, dog. I'm going to go Raiders with the win. And I'm going to go I'm going to go 28-13 on the score. Raiders with the win, 28-13. I'm a defensive guy, right? I think that pressure, especially in the playoffs, is gonna do too much. I think the pressure, especially in the playoffs, is going to do way too much. Rob just texted in from the Contender. He's got his pick in 28-24. Cincinnati with the win. I just feel like that defense of the Raiders is going to be too much for him. Or not so much the defense. I think the defense is very susceptible. We saw that versus the Chargers. But I think that pressure in his face. I think that pressure in his face is just going to be too much consistently. Levante says 31-24 Bengals. EJ says 2017 Bengals. A lot of Bengals love in here. I'm not mad at it. A lot of Bengals love in here today. I got to go with the Raiders, man. I think the Raiders get it done. If I'm not mistaken, they've been out of the first round before. This is going to be Joe Burrow's first experience with the playoffs. I think it's going to be a little different. I think we're going to be looking at a repeat of what the Bengals have gone through consistently. Let's look at this next game. Patriots Bills. I already told y'all I got the Patriots winning this one. Because I think Bill Belichick's going to be Bill Belichick's too prepared for this game. He's going to be too prepared for this game. Everybody's talking about, oh, you got to worry about the weather. It's going to be 8 degrees. I think that hurts the Bills. Josh Allen's throwing bullets. No says 38-20 Bengals. A lot of Bengals left. I think that hurts the Bills. I think that the what Josh Allen is gonna do, you're gonna be dotting up Stephon Diggs with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in 8 degrees. Yeah, okay. You kidding me? I'm going Patriots. I think the Patriots win this game 24-21. Do I want to go? See, that's the tough part, right? Because you get so much for picking the right score. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with my gut on it. I said 24-21. That's what I'm going with. Samurai J says 31-21. You got the Raiders over the Bengals. Let's not forget Allen can run as well. Allen's going to have to run. Dog. Rob from the producer channel. He's got Buffalo 17, New England 14. Buffalo with the win on Rob's side. Bill's got the MVP on the bench. Absolutely. Bill's going to eat Mac Jones. I don't know, dog. 27-23. Bills. Listen. No, says Pat. Remember, no more Brady. Listen, dog. I'm telling you right now. Y'all are asleep on Bill. Y'all are asleep on what Bill can do. Do not think that just because there's no Tom Brady, that Bill's not going to make this happen. Do not think that just because there's no Tom Brady, that Bill Belichick is absolutely not going to get this dub, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, y'all. Let's see some of the predictions we got here, man. What do we got? We got 24-21 to the Pats. Samurai J says. EJ says he's got Bills 30-17. Good Lord. Anthony Wright says he's got Bengals 27, Raiders 21 is for the last game. Noise says 35-10 to the Patriots. He's got a domination by the Patriots, though. Patriots dominating, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Bills dominate, not tweet. Dennis says he's got Patriots 17, Bills 10. All right. We're going to see, y'all. We're going to see, because to me, this is absolutely a game. This is a Bill Belichick game, ain't it? This is a Bill Belichick game. Everything's pointing against the Bills being successful in this to me. Everything I see. That's your Saturday games. That's your AFC and NFC, or those AFC and NFC. Those are your two AFC games there. As you can see how the bracket breaks down here. Sunday's first game, Philadelphia versus Tampa Bay. I got Tampa dominating this one. I think, to me, this is a game where where Brady shows, there's always that game where you're like, man, is Tom still got it? Is he going to be that? All right, let's see what happens here. I think this is a game absolutely where he shows, and especially since the last game was kind of close there too. I think this is absolutely a game where Brady comes out and he says, hey, listen, let me tell you something. Not for nothing, champ, but you're taking an L today. A big L. It's going to be a tough L for you. And I feel bad that you have to go through it. I'm going Tampa for the win. And I'm going 30-17. Tampa Bay over the Philadelphia Eagles there. $30-17. Levante with me there. 45-14 Bucks. Dennis says he's on the Bengals to get to the Super Bowl. I just feel like there's too much firepower in this game for Brady to, or for Philly to overcome it, right? I think Philly's a good team. I think that Justin Fields. I think that Jalen Hurts is actually a good quarterback, but I do think that he's a quarterback that needs that great team to make him better, right? He needs those pieces around him for him to get that extra oomph, and I don't think he has it. Rob going 21-3, not even a touchdown for Philly. Tampa Bay with the win. EJ says, I agree with your score, Pat, on the Tampa and Eagles game. 30-17 Tampa Bay. Dennis said Bucks 37. Eagles 14. Anthony says Tampa Bay 31. Eagles 20. I think, fam, that's the Tom Brady effect right there, ain't it? That's the Tom Brady effect right there. It's just like, listen, I'm sorry. It's Tom. What you want me to do with that? It's how Tom Brady is to football how I feel about Kevin Durant the way we played Brooklyn the other night. I just put my arms up, just, all right. What are you going to do? What do you expect from me? What more do you want from me? Samurai J says 35-10, TB12 with the dub. Not even the Bucks, just TB12. Now here is probably the most competitive game there's going to be. Marvin says 45-21 Bucks with the win. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot that goes into this game. There's a lot that goes into this game, right? This is not oh my God, this is an easy pick. Cowboys all day, Niners, dog. Now, I'm not saying that San Francisco has the better quarterback. I'm not saying that San Francisco has the better receiving core. I'm not saying none of that. But what I am saying is that San Francisco, to me, has been in these kind of games all year. And we've seen them win them with what I would say is sometimes mediocre talent at the quarterback position, very up and down talent at the quarterback position. San Francisco 10-7, Dallas 12-5. Very different records here. Did they play it all this season? I don't think they played the Cowboys this year. They didn't. But they're a weird team, right? San Francisco's a weird team. They can have a week and then they cannot. Lost to the Cardinals 17-10. Then lost to the Cardinals 31-17 the next time. Beat the Rams 31-10. What's going on? Loses to the Seahawks 30-23. Beats the Bengals 26-23. Swept the Rams. Very confusing team. A very confusing team in his first weekend here. So it comes down to, who do I trust more? Who do I think's going to get this done? Who do I and it's wild, right? Because, like, to me, why should I trust Dallas? Because I've seen that a million times. And they almost always do Dallas things. You know, it's one of those where it's like, listen, I get that this is different players, different team, all that good stuff, but is it? But is it? No, he says Cowboys 17, 49ers 28. EJ says 28-24 Cowboys. I feel like Jimmy G will choke that game. Cowboys struggle but win, says Marvin, 28-21. Dennis says Cowboys 24, 49ers 21 in OT. That's not a bad. I could definitely see this game going to OT. Samurai J says 35-31. Niners with the win. I might go up on, you know what? And I'll tell you this. This is the other thing that I'm adding to it. The Cowboys, right? Because you have to, you gotta, like, this is one where the game is close enough. I can't just be like, definitive answer, I'm going. I want to break that. I want to break this one down. I want to look at this game in depth. Because for this, you know what I'm saying? It's for bragging rights, but I'm sure we'll have something on the line. And I'm trying to get to the standings here. That's the wrong sport. Those are the standings, but just for the NBA. Which we're going to get into some NBA talk here. But if I'm not mistaken, and here we go here. Cowboys at home. And you're not going to show me that on this one. So I did all that for nothing. Great. I'm trying to look up the Cowboys record at home. I don't believe it's good. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the Cowboys record at home is below 500 as well. It might just be above 500. So for that reason, I think I'm going Niners, dog. I think I am gonna follow. Okay, so I was wrong on that one. So at home they're 5-3. They're definitely better on the road. But at home they're 5-3. Away they're 7-2. I think I'm going Niners, bro. I think I'm going Oppo on this one. Rob says San Francisco 38, Dallas 28. Big difference. Yeah, I think I'm going Oppo on this one. I think I'm going to go San Francisco. I'm going to say 28-24. and it ends in overtime. Like, who said that? Was that No that said that? I do think it goes to overtime. I think this is going to be one of the most exciting games of the weekend here. Anthony Wright says 49ers will upset the Cowboys. Niners will beat down Cowboys O-line. Samurai J 35-31 Niners. Levante says 49ers 35. Cowgirls 28. Anthony says Niners 27-20. Everybody feeling that pick, right? Everybody feeling that pick. It's a weird one too, right? But is that because of the past or is it because of this team? Is that because of previous Cowboy teams that we feel this way, or is it because of this team? Because I have zero faith that the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl. There's no part of me that believes the Cowboys get to the NFC Championship game. There's no part of me. And so now I'm just like, all right, well. And I think this is the one game I've waffled on because of how close it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, is it going to be that? Is it going to be, I don't know. Levante says Dallas hasn't played up to their 12-5 record. You know what I'm saying? There's a question mark there, man. There's a question mark. And because of that question mark, and because we got bragging rights on the line, I got to go San Francisco. Next game, Pittsburgh and Kansas City. That's the night game. 7:15. Possibly Big Ben's last game. I'm going to say definitely Big Ben's last game. I'm going KC. And I hate to say it, but I'm going KC in a romp. Because we always look, the weird thing about this is why I hate when a player plays too long, right? Because we always look for that. Does he have one more game in him? Does he have one last game in him? Does he have that next? Is there something left? Can he give us one last magical moment? And more times than not, the answer is no. And so I think this is a sad ending to Big Ben's career. I'm going to go 42-7. Kansas City wins. And even though I want the score to be right, I kind of want to be wrong because I hate it. I hate when players play too long. Let me remember you as the player you were. I hate it. Big Ben was a great quarterback. And yet when I look at Big Ben now, it's like, come on, dog. What are we doing? You know you shouldn't have stayed this season. You know, I understand you wanted to go out on your terms. Your terms are not good. EJ says that's easy, 38-10 Pittsburgh. Samurai J says 55-10. Or I'm sorry, 38-10 Kansas City. Samurai J says 55-10 Kansas City. Levante said 75-2 Chiefs. 75-2. So Anthony gave him a little more credibility. 31-17. 31-17 to me says we could have a half that's close. Big Ben could compete for a half. I hate it, dog. You know what I'm saying? I hate seeing those dudes that stay too long. I almost wish the Raiders would have taken the tie just so that I could see Big Ben's career end on a somewhat high note. You know, I could have remembered that game in Cleveland. Or not in Cleveland, in Heinz Field. Rob going 35-17 KC. I feel like sometimes somebody in the athlete's family's got to be like, hey, I watched you. I get you want to go back out there, but come on, dude. You know you're not that dude. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's okay. And then the final game of that day, Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. This is another game to me that's one of those like, ugh. You serious right now? This is another game to me where I'm like, ugh. Because do you trust Matthew Stafford? Do you trust Matthew Stafford to get it done? This is not Matty Ice. This is Matthew Stafford. Do you trust that Matthew Stafford's going to be able to get over the hump? By the way, J.J. Watt, I believe, is supposed to be back for this game. We know, listen, 40% of J.J. Watt is still better than most. Can he get you up enough for a playoff run here? This is probably going to be, for a Monday night game, this might be one of the best of the weekend. I want to see, too. I might go on with the Fantasy Whispers on this one. Or I might do it live over here. A little Monday night watch party. If there's no Bulls game, because y'all know we got a live call to Bulls. So today we got Golden State. Tomorrow we got Boston. Nothing Sunday. And we got Memphis Monday. Oh, but at 2:30 on Monday. Is that on a Monday? 2:30 on a Monday, we got Memphis? So we might be live calling that game then. Might do a little Monday night watch party. You can't take the Detroit Lion out of Stafford, Robert Diaz says. Oh, that's right. Martin Luther King Day is Monday. Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. They do it like that. Man, it's the first MLK Day I'll actually be not at work for. That's pretty cool. Be on here with y'all. That's a tough one. I don't know if I trust Stafford to get the job done, dog. Is the pressure going to be too much for him? Kyler's never been there before. I'm going to pick the Rams, but I don't feel good about it. I'm going to go Rams over the Cards. Close game. 28-27. I don't feel good about that pick at all. Levante says 45-42 Cards. He's got a high-scoring game in that one. Dennis says Rams 31, Cards 21. Samurai J 35-21 Arizona. Anthony says the Cardinals will win that game 27-17. Matthews will struggle that game. 3 picks from Stafford. 3 picks. 3 picks from Matthew Stafford. That's a tough one, dude. That's one of those games where it's like, all we've seen of Stafford has been him and the Lions. Of course, he has a better season this year. He's having more of an uptick season. But then by the end of it, you're just going to be like, it's like at the end of the season, we're still talking about, is this still Matthew Stafford? Is this the same dude that we've continued to see? Is this the same dude that he's always been? Samurai J said the Cardinals used to be in Chicago, so technically we made the playoffs. I probably should root for the Cards for that reason, right? Damian says Rams 35. Rams win 35-27 in overtime. So they went for 2? I don't think that score would work in overtime, because in overtime, in theory, you would have to have 27-27. That's 8 points. Right? That's how math works. Yeah, I'm right. You gotta count on your fingers sometimes. I use the toes if I need to. Oh, wow. No, he coming with the shutout. Rams 24, Cardinals 0. I don't know, dog. I don't know about a shutout. I don't know if you're shutting out Kyler. Not with how much the Cardinals run, and with how much the Rams defense basically just says, hey, we will give you whatever you want on the running side of it. We're not going to let you pass the ball. Steve-O says Rams 24, Cards 17. Slarf, welcome to the chat, says 27-17. Rob just texted in. He's got Rams 17, Arizona 13. He thinks we got a clunker on the way. Says feeling like the Cards take this one. We're going to see, man. We're going to see. So my picks here, right? I got Raiders taking a dub 28-13. Patriots taking a dub 24-21. In the frigid weather, Tampa Bay winning it dominantly 30-17. 49ers winning 28-24 over the Cowboys. KC dominating Pittsburgh. Big Ben going out ugly to Kansas City 42-7. And Rams 28-27. I'm going to get everybody's picks. We're going to put them on the board. We're going to drop them on Twitter, on the Windy City Breeze Twitter account. Follow that Twitter account if you guys aren't already following it. At WC The Breeze. I got to change that. That's not the Twitter name no more. Hold on. Gotta re-up the Twitter now. I forgot I changed it when I changed the show name. Just flipped it around. It's the WC Breeze. The WC. That's old school right there. Y'all remember when the WB used to do that? Do y'all remember the WB? I love how for me it's just like, that's old right there. We'll have that posted on the show Twitter, man. Follow the show on Twitter at the WC Breeze. We appreciate you guys for sticking around and showing so much love, man. Coming through with the picks. Robert Diaz says both teams choked. The Cards couldn't beat an injury-ravaged Packers. The Rams have a 50-50 chance to choke. Just a matter of who chokes more. That's kind of the way I'm looking at that too. You know what I'm saying? That's really it. It's just like, hey, both kind of could choke here, but who's going to choke the most? Yeah, man. Follow the show on Twitter. I'll post the pics all over there. Also follow your boy on IG and Twitter, man. Trying to get my Twitter to 10,000 this year, right? So if I get my Twitter to 10,000, I'm going to give away a Justin Fields jersey, clearly for the reason. Not if, right? Not if. When I get my Twitter to 10,000, I'm going to give away a Justin Fields jersey. Only because that's going to be my first 10,000 on Twitter. So if y'all can help me, shout me out, all that good stuff, man. Follow me on Twitter. We're trying to get this thing busting this year because I want to get your boy verified. The goal this year, man, a lot of goals this year. I was talking with Kid about it before the show one day. Was just talking about growing the brand itself and what my goals were for the year and stuff like that. Honestly, this year, I'm looking at this year coming into it. I'm trying to get this show so legit that Muggs can't help but watch it. I'm trying to get this show to the point where we get to that next level consistently. We're consistently every time we get on a live, we get into that next level. I'm also trying to fix my brain so I don't freak out about it, but shout out to Slarp, said he about to follow. But my goal this year is to get the morning show cracking, get the lives even more cracking, get the, you know what I'm saying? So that everything we do is that next level. So I'm trying to get the Twitter to a point where it's verified so that when people look at us, I don't know why either, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm pretty legit. Y'all think I'm pretty legit, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know why that blue check means so much to everybody. But if I can get that blue check, you know what I'm saying? If it helps us move forward, hey, it helps us move forward. Bruce said, I'm here for you, fella. No, he says, not a Twitter fan. Sorry. Hey, that's all good, dog. Twitter is not for everybody, bro. I've been on Twitter so long that I've always been honest about it. I had to put a tweet cleaner on my Twitter. Because the stuff I used to say on Twitter when I was like 14-year-old Pat, wild dude. Come on now. 14-year-old Pat was wild. Absolutely threw a tweet cleaner on that mug. You're not going to find a tweet over 3 months old on my Twitter. At this point, I probably could take it off. I actually just don't know how or what tweet cleaner I put on there. I think I did it when I was like 19 years old. I was like, I probably should take some of this stuff off. And I'm not going through deleting all that stuff. But no, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I appreciate y'all for being a part of this journey, man. You know, this morning show thing, this daily show thing is something that we really wanted to get cracking. So I'm glad that we've been able to do that. I'm glad that we've been able to, get this to that next level. Steve-O says, yeah, not proud of high school me. Hey, listen, it's who I was, and it's also the time that I was living in. You know what I'm saying? Was there reckless stuff said over on Twitter? Absolutely. Was there reckless stuff done in everyday life? Absolutely. But you know what? It was how things were back then. It wasn't as, oh my goodness, we're worried about the world being okay and everybody needs a hug. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was what it was. You know what I'm saying? We're in a very different time now. And I'm a very different person now. A very different person now. So it is what it is. Let's shift gears here. Let's shift gears here. Slav says the setup you have gives the show a good feel. I appreciate that, bro. Steve-O says he wouldn't change a thing. Nah. It was fun back then. I wouldn't go back and do it, but it was fun back then. Oh, man. No, but yeah, if y'all shout me out all that good stuff, man, I'm going to keep y'all in mind. We're going to do a lot of stuff here. We're going to be doing some giveaways here. Oh, by the way, planning on doing a giveaway soon for the Breeze Super Fans. So if you guys want to join the Breeze Super Fans, you get the custom emojis that you see popping up in the chat here. You get that custom where you get the super fan next to your name. You get the access to the Discord where we're always chopping it up about sports in there. We were breaking down the topic I'm going to get down in the Discord yesterday, just talking about what the Atlanta Hawks I have going on with them. You also get access to early merch drops, and we're going to be doing giveaways in there. So in the Discord, you're going to get access to the giveaways. It'll also be on the community tab. Once you join, there's like a section of the community tab where only super fans can see. So if you guys want to join up, man, hit that join button on the screen or click the link in the description below if the join button is not on your screen. I think the join button is like a computer exclusive thing. I think you can only see it on the computer, which is weird, but if you can't see it, the link is in the description below as well. So as we shift gears here, yesterday in the NBA, we saw our second team, I believe, open up to the trade market that pretty much everybody's on the market. The Atlanta Hawks who have basically just gotten out of it, which not surprised. I came into the season telling y'all they got to show it to me again. I came into the season telling y'all they made it to the ECF. Great. Show me again that you can do it. I've seen the Atlanta Hawks. How many times have we seen the Atlanta Hawks have a year? How many times have we seen the Atlanta Hawks have a year? They had another year. Guess where we're at now? The Atlanta Hawks are looking to rebuild again. They said the only player, from what we're hearing, it's all he say, she say. You know what I'm saying? Like when Muzz was sending me that article that Kobe White's available. Oh my God, Kobe White is available. How could the Bulls trade Kobe White? Fam, that article had no credibility. Samurai J said, "Nah, I can't see it I can see it on my phone." Oh, you can see it. Okay. Maybe it's certain phones, bro. I don't know. He talking about the join tab. But no, dog, like let's stop just anybody that say something. Oh my God, this is what's happening. This is what I heard. Fam, them articles be having zero credibility. Be like, who wrote this? Oh, a dude named Bob heard it from a dude named Joe who heard that Adam Schefter thought about this one time, and so it's Adam Schefter. What? But from what we're hearing, the Hawks and what the Hawks have shown, they're in a position now where they're looking to rebuild. And so, question on the table. One is a Bulls fan, 36 inches of bull head back there. Take that how you want. Should the Bulls or the rest of the NBA look at the Atlanta Hawks, who have said that the only two players that aren't available are are Clint Capella and Trae Young? Should you look at that team and go crazy? And what I mean by that is, you've seen Cam Reddish get traded to New York, right? Cam Reddish is now on the Knicks, which absolutely makes the Knicks better. They gave up Kevin Knox, who was getting no tick. If you're the Chicago Bulls or you're just a team in the NBA that has that big man struggle, that looks at that Hawks team and says, I can see this moving, what do you send them? Are the pieces in Atlanta worth it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw this yesterday. I saw this news yesterday, and like, everybody's available. I was like, the only player I want is John Collins. And the question came up, is Kobe worth John Collins? Is P. Will worth John Collins? Like, it's not even like from the Bulls standpoint. Like, most of the season, everybody's been saying, trade this dude. And I'm like, I've told y'all consistently, there's no value with this. And I'm speaking from the Bulls standpoint because it's the team I watch the most. But I'm looking at a lot of these and I'm like, fam, why would, like, is there some, like, there's not much on Atlanta that I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have that. There wasn't like I was. It was just like Atlanta's doing a fire sale, and I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, it was. I was confused by how they were talking about it, as if it was going to be this, oh my God, we have to give up the world to go get these players. Who are you talking about? Bogdan? Nice player. But we're really just talking about a bunch of nice guys, right? We're really just talking about a nice, he fits there. And I see everybody talking about, oh my God, we got to go get John Collins. He's a great piece. You got to put him in here. John Collins is making $125 million over the next 5 years. Y'all have to understand what we're asking for on our side, right? Y'all have to understand what we're asking for on our side. We want somebody to come here and be a glorified role player. We still have to pay Zach LaVine. We still have to pay, you know what I'm saying? There's contracts that are going to be up for grabs. And we're asking somebody to come here and be a glorified role player and help Vooch. That's all we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just want somebody to, because we're tired of seeing Vooch get done up on the boards because he's the only one down there. Every time Vooch turns around, there's 4 dudes jumping on his back as he's fighting for the rebound. Somehow he still comes down with it. So I'm looking at the NBA yesterday, and I'm like, all right, what teams are looking to make moves to add on to that final piece? Maybe go get something that helps them get to that next level. We know the Lakers want to make moves. Nobody's trading for Russ. I got Trae Young. I'm not bringing Russ. What am I bringing Russ for? And that's the piece they want to move. You know what I'm saying? Like the Knicks made a move. Knicks made a great move going to get Cam Reddish. Cam and RJ have already played together. They've got their rapport built up together. They've got something on that team already. There's something there. That works perfectly. And you sent the player you're not even using in Kevin Knox. I don't know what Knox did, but Thibs doesn't use him at all. But I just heard, the Hawks are looking to do a fire sale down in Atlanta. Who cares? What do you have? And listen, I'm not saying John Collins is a bad player. I'm not saying John Collins is a bad piece. I'm not saying John Collins wouldn't fit here. But 125 mil over 5? This is the first year of his contract. They're looking to get rid of him. He makes 23 mil over the next 5 years. By the end of it, it makes 26. Nice player. Really nice player. But why are you getting rid of him? You can't tell me all of a sudden he just doesn't fit there. You know what I'm saying? You can't. I've watched him play. You can't ask for a better player to stand next to Clint Capella. Because Clint could be in the paint, John could be at the 3. And then if John pump fakes the 3, he can drive to the bucket. As he's driving to the bucket, Clint comes down. Foop. What aren't you telling me? It should fit. It should work. I've seen it work. It should work. I saw it in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. You're telling me now all of a sudden, one season in, now we're doing a fire sale? Everybody's available. Get out of here, bro. Levante says he doesn't make that a lot of money when Muggs are getting twice that amount. Yeah, okay. I agree with you. Muggs are getting paid way more than John Collins is. But we can't pay John Collins that much. Because like I said, what are we asking for? We're asking for someone to box out, help Vooch, grab rebounds, block shots. For a different team, John, you know what John makes sense? I'll tell you what John makes perfect sense, and I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Portland needs to send C.J. McCollum. Portland absolutely needs to be in on this. Portland absolutely needs to be in on this. If you're the Portland Trailblazers, the second you heard that he was available, you should have been doing. Y'all seen the TikTok where buddy's like, make the call. Make the call. The second. C.J. McCollum will be on the first thing smoking out there. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the kind of teams you want to see him on. John Collins is not a glorified role player. John Collins can be a major contributor to a team if he's on the right team. So that's your one player there. But it was just funny to me to hear. It was like, we're doing a fire sale. It was like, there's nobody I want. The one dude I want, y'all just sent to New York. The other dude that I want, you said we can't have. You know what? I take it back. There's one dude that I want. And if they willing to send him, if they're willing to send him, I like Kevin Huerter. I think that Kevin Huerter is better than what he's played this year. As a scoring player, I like Kevin Huerter. I wouldn't give you nothing crazy for him, but I like him. It's just so weird, dog. It's out of nowhere. It's like it came out of left field. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. You were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. You went through a ton of COVID issues. You went through a ton of stuff as far as just starting the season, Trey hurt, stuff like that. I don't get it. I don't understand how they got here. Robert Diaz says different sport, but the comparison is good. The Hawks are not having a fire sale. They are the Blackhawks post Stanley Cup win. Nah, because the Hawks kept a lot of those assets. Now, the first Stanley Cup was different because you got the hard cap in hockey, so you end up getting rid of Bufflin, which was a tough decision. But you got the hard cap in hockey. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no option there. You know what I'm saying? There's no option there. This is the Hawks not even a full season removed from the Eastern Conference Finals. Saying, we're done. We're good. Cam Reddish can score. Yeah, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like is and you bring in Kevin Knox, so I'm assuming your game plan with Kevin Knox is to make him a 4. So now you're basically saying, we don't really need John Collins because you just drafted a big what are they doing? Steve-O says you packed the look like they push the panic button too early. Dennis says, no, Pat, ain't gonna lie, you smoking early today, bro. No, not at all. What do we want John Collins to, what do we want our 4 to come here and be? We're not asking our 4 to put up 20 points a game. I got multiple dudes that could put up 25 points. And for everybody that's freaking out, oh my God, Brooklyn, they did this, they did that. Brooklyn had a bad game last night yet again. We lost one. We played a bad game. Stop being pissed because it was on national TV. Stop being pissed because ESPN ain't talking about your team. Who cares? Are they winning? Are they beating good teams? They're beating good teams. Did they beat the Brooklyn Nets? They beat the Brooklyn Nets. Did they lose the last game? They lost the last game. It's okay. Brooklyn went out last night and got worked out by the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Like teams have good games, teams have bad games. Guess what? When nobody was freaking out when the Bulls beat the Nets in dominating fashion. All the conversation was, well, there's no Kyrie. There was Kyrie last night, wasn't it? There was James last night, wasn't it? And if you're telling me, based on what I've seen this season, that I should be worried about what the Nets are going to do versus us and with an inconsistent James Harden, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Karan says John Collins is the reincarnation of Carlos Boozer. Avoid. I'm not listen. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you, though. You put Booze on this team, it's pretty good. You got Booze at your 4 on this team. That's not bad. I want y'all to go back and really look at Booze numbers. I get like Booze was the scapegoat for the terribleness that sometimes would happen with that team, dog. But come on, bro. Like Booze, you telling me I'm adding 20 and 10 to this team? That's what I'm just trying to add. I just want the 10. I don't care who gives me the 10. I just want the 10. But I'm just not panicking because we lost to Brooklyn. Because Brooklyn went out last night and lost to a 13-win team. By a lot. I'm looking at it now, though. Looks like Durant didn't play and Irving didn't play. Harden came out and balled out. Thomas played well. All right, give him a little more leeway. I give you a little more leeway for that. Shea Gilgeous cooked y'all. But even look at the Warriors last night. For the Warriors to have only lost 118-99 is impressive. Because at one point in the game, it was absolutely like 77-38. And that's what a full slate of pieces playing. That's what a full slate of pieces playing. That's what Klay Thompson, Gary Payton, Stephen Curry, Andrew Wiggins. No Draymond. And I don't believe there's going to be any Draymond tonight either. Draymond's going to be out with the calf. Gary Payton's going to be out with the back. James Wiseman's going to be out with the knee. Klay Thompson is also going to be out due to rest. I'm kind of sad about that, man. I want Klay to play. He's not playing the second of a back-to-back, though. But I'm not tripping off of one game, dog. I saw so many people out there just losing their minds. Oh my God. How could we lose like that? It's so terrible. I was like, I'm sorry, dog. Sometimes you lose games. I hate to tell you this. I hate to be the one to break this to you. But sometimes you lose games. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me this morning, man, showing that love. If y'all haven't done so, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the page. We do this Monday through Friday every morning. Six to 9, live on YouTube, live on the Contender app. If you don't got the Contender, click that link in the go to the App Store. Actually, the link is in the description below too. Click the link in the description below, or go to the App Store wherever you get your apps, man. Download the Contender app. Raging said most of the good teams lost that night, so good morning. Levante said, and we still first in these. That's the part that gets me, dog. It's like people losing their mind. It's like we're still doing good. We're still okay. We are going to be very much fine. We are still moving in the right direction. I don't look at games like that and panic. I've never been that way. Well, I was that way when I was a kid. But I think there's a difference between being a fan of a team. I'm telling you, I'm one of the Chicago Bulls' biggest fans. I'll sit there and argue with y'all all day about the players on this team. Like, I ride with my team. When Muzz is sitting there like, trade this dude, trade this dude, trade this dude, I'll be like, man, that's my boy. Stop playing. But I'm also like, try to be logical about it. You know what I'm saying? I try to have a little bit of logic with it. Try to have a little bit of logic with it. That's what it's all about. Looking around the league, man. You know what? Let's take a quick break. I'm going to take a quick break. And then we come back, we look around the league. We're going to look around the NBA and see and see who I think should be the next team that everybody should be worrying about. That's coming up right after this. The Bulls, to me, and maybe this is the first time I'm saying it on here, and this is why you have to make a move before the break and go for it. The Bulls, to me, absolutely have the makings of a championship roster. 100%. They have a championship roster right now. But you have to add to it because these other teams also have that championship level roster. So it's not just about having a championship roster. It's also about, do you have enough to beat the other teams with a championship roster? And right now, I don't know if the Bulls have that. Right now, I don't know if the Bulls have that. Because I'll tell you this right now, and we're going to talk about this on the live show. By the way, we will be live tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. For all of you people that are up early going into work, tune into the show, man. The Morning Breeze starts tomorrow. We're going to be live every week, Monday through Friday. And we're going to be breaking this down. But when Kyrie Irving comes back to the NBA, I've said this all year. It's Brooklyn's league, and the rest of us are in it. Now, there's going to take some time for him to get acclimated. Of course, now he's dealing with the health and safety protocols. There's going to be some time with that. But if we continue to do that, if we continue down that path where one day he comes back, then we're in a position where Kyrie Irving is the key to unlocking Brooklyn. And if they're fully healthy, and at this point, it doesn't even matter. We've sat here all season and talked about the struggle that James Harden is going to have. We've talked about all season, like, he can't do it. They're not going to win a championship. James Harden is not a factor anymore if Kyrie Irving is 100% healthy. Now, of course, there's still the fact that I say that we've never seen Kyrie 100% healthy. The one time we saw him healthy, he helped win a championship. Yeah, I'm saying. But to me, that's the biggest thing that the Bulls have going for them. The unknown of Kyrie. But now you have to add to your roster because he's back. So if he's healthy, if he's playing along with Kevin Durant, who's been dominating the NBA, the league is theirs. Let's not get it twisted. Golden State, okay. I love it. I love what Steph is doing. I love how they're playing defense. But the league is theirs. And I hate to say it like that. So now you have to figure out, how do you improve your roster to get to the point where the league isn't theirs? How do you get to the point where like I said, championship roster is already here, adding to a championship roster to make it more of a championship roster when it's 100% healthy? We've seen a lot of championship rosters get beat. A lot of them. Shaq and Penny had a championship roster, got beat. Scottie Pippen and them boys, when he was in Portland, had a championship roster, got beat. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a lot of consistent championship rosters get beat. Championship level rosters get beat by better championship. How do we get to that point? And so now you're looking at who can you add to this team. And AK told you he's still going to add. Welcome back into the Morning Breeze, man. It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, man, we got Bulls, Warriors tonight, so get excited about that. But there's also another game tonight that I'm excited about. Bulls Warriors a 7:30 start, by the way. 6:30 start for us, right? 6:30. Hold up. Bulls Warriors a 6:30 start, by the way. But there's another team on tonight that I think the league is gonna have to finally admit is somebody you gotta watch for. It's not just a fluky streak anymore. It's not just fluky wins. It's not just, oh, they beat a team when they were down. No, they are beating teams consistently. And they knock off the Timberwolves for their 10th straight win. Or I'm sorry, is that 10th? Or their 11th straight win, I'm sorry. And they're going for 12 tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the Memphis Grizzlies are a problem. 30-14. To put that in perspective, that's the best team in the Western Conference right now, in the Eastern Conference right now, win percentage wise. Right? They would be right now. Let me double check that. Y'all know my math. There's a reason I do this. You did. You know what I'm saying? But no. Bulls win percentage right now is a 692. Their win percentage is a 682. So they will be second. They played more games because we had ours postponed. Memphis is a problem right now. Ja Morant is a problem right now. I am getting, fam, I'm saying this right here. The Ja Morant jersey's on the way. I am getting a Ja Morant jersey. I don't know which one yet. I got to figure out. I like the dark blue with the color scheme because I feel like I can put some nice shoes with it. I'm saying. But the Ja Morant jerseys, I'm going to buy a current player's jersey. I feel like I need to buy a Bulls current player jersey to also like counteract, like, oh, you buying current players jerseys. Like, I like more Bulls merch than I do like the player jerseys, if that's weird enough to say. But what Memphis is doing right now should put the league on its ear. You should be looking around trying to figure out, what are we going to do here? And I think that they're more than just a good team. I think that they're more than just a team that's giving us some regular season fun right now. They moved into third place over the Utah Jazz. And we got Memphis tomorrow as well. Right? Golden State. No, we got Memphis. We got Memphis Monday. We got Boston tomorrow. But their last, Timberwolves, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, Pistons, Cavs, Nets, Spurs, Lakers, Suns, Kings. Their last loss was against the Warriors in a game that ended 113-104. And Memphis gave them just about all they could handle. Now, Stephen Curry went off for 46. But when I really look at what this team is doing, where this team is, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm looking at it, why can't they beat Phoenix in 7? When I'm looking at how they beating these teams, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not like they're beating these teams when their players are having a bad night. It's not like they're beating these teams when their players are struggling. Last night you had Jaren Jackson with 20. You had Desmond Bane with 21. Ja Morant had 16, 8, and 9. Concher had 15, 17, and 3. Clark had 14, 8, and 1. Steven Adams did not play. He's still in COVID protocols. But the Timberwolves showed up. D'Lo, 29. Vanderbilt, 8-13. Anthony Edwards, 30 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 25, 9-3. The T-Wolves showed up. Still winning. Doesn't matter. And that's what this win streak has been, right? Now there's a lot of those games in there. Not a lot. There's a few of those games in there where it's like, Detroit. Detroit. But to me, I look at that Memphis team and I'm just like, man, they're really doing like the unit. But see, this is the difference, right? This is the biggest difference to me. So they're doing the everybody gets involved, like how Denver used to do. They're doing that everybody touches the ball, everybody gets involved, everybody's, good ball movement, keeping it going, blah, blah, blah. The difference is, though, there's a star. The difference in what that team is right now is that there is a star. Ja Morant can absolutely put 50 on your head. Ja Morant's absolutely that level of player. He's absolutely somebody that can come out and can give you fits while the team is still being very good, while the team is still giving you 15 to 20 points. While you're still getting 20 from Jaren Jackson, while you're still getting 20 from Desmond Bane, while you know what I'm saying? And they're missing a major rebounder right now. They're missing a major. What did we say about Steven Adams yesterday? Solid. They're missing a really solid piece. I'm telling y'all, man. As far as teams go, man, Memphis is one of those teams that I look at and I'm just like, dog. I really think that they're the West Coast version of the Bulls this year. They're a team that's got a shot. Shay says, with all due respect, I like Memphis, but they're just too young right now. I feel like they don't have enough of a veteran presence on their team. They're a good regular season team. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this. The NBA is changing in ways that I didn't expect, right? I haven't seen a team really just go out there and make it to the NBA Finals with a bunch of dudes that have never been in the playoffs just by adding now granted, one of the best of all time at it, but a point guard. I had no expectations that Phoenix would make the NBA Finals last year, and they did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the young dude thing, yeah, I get it. But we got young dudes that's different now. They're not scared of the moment. We got young dudes that's different now. They're not scared of the moment. Marvin says Pat Ja Morant is playing a lot of minutes. It's not even all-star break yet. Pump your brakes. Everybody's playing minutes. They just asked Kevin Durant about playing a bunch of minutes the other night. And even so, last night, Ja Morant played 31 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those where it's like, yeah, they're young dudes. Yeah, they can get there. Yeah. Don't matter. It's about if they can win games or not. Can they win games? Now, I'm not saying they're going to make the NBA Finals. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to count Ja Morant out. I'm not going to tell you that this Memphis team isn't advancing at such a speed that if they get into a series versus somebody that they'd be outmatched. They weren't supposed to be here. They weren't supposed to be here. Memphis was supposed to be maybe a fringe playoff team. Maybe. Heck, if we look at it, we wasn't supposed to be here. We wasn't supposed to be best team in the Eastern Conference right now. But we are. So I'm going to give Memphis they love. I'm going to give Memphis their love. I'm going to give them their flowers while they winning games, and I'm not taking nothing away from them boys. They going out there, and they beating the teams that y'all say are going to beat them. Now, granted, regular season, when you play somebody 7 times, might be different. It's definitely different. But you don't see a lot of the moments where you have that kind of a team game like they're playing right now with somebody who's as big of a dominating force as Ja Morant is. You just don't. Think about those teams that played those team games where there wasn't that star to go to, where we're just moving the ball. Everybody gets 15. If everybody gives me 15 points a game, we're going to score a lot. We're going to win. Those teams don't make the NBA Finals. Those teams don't do that. Because when I need somebody to get a bucket, I don't have that because I got a lot of role players. Memphis is playing with that kind of mentality. While also having an alpha that they can go to. Having a dog that can get the job done. Raging said, that's the Thunder before Billy left, LOL. Thunder wasn't winning like this. That Shea Gilgeous team was not winning like this, mind you. And I love Shea Gilgeous. I think that's going to be an excellent point guard battle for years to come. I feel like that's going to be an excellent point guard battle for years to come. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't doing it like Memphis doing it right now, dog. And I think they're kind of getting there. I think they should have their name in on the Atlanta hat, bro. Team that needs somebody, go give me, or even Memphis John Collins. Nah, maybe John Collins in Memphis. Yes, yay or nay. I don't know. OKC would be perfect to me. That big man point guard combination, OKC would be perfect to me. But maybe in Memphis. That point guard, big man connection has been dominating the NBA since the NBA started. Don't break that. Don't break that. Steve-O says, nah, Jaylen Brown should go to Memphis. I'm not one of those people that say you give up talent. I've never been one of those people. I've never been one of those guys that's like, hey, this ain't working right here. You need to figure out a way to make this work. So give up what you got so that it can work. Nah, I can't. Can't do it no more. With the Bulls have been that team forever. So there's no way I'm sending Jaylen Brown everywhere. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum don't work well together. Get them a point guard. Get them a point. Go find your Lonzo Ball. Get him a point guard. You figure that out. You do not break that team up. You do not break that team up. Did y'all see this report the other night too, man? That said the NBA said that the Kings can no longer play cold as ice. When Westbrook takes a shot. Apparently, the DJ every time down the court out in Sacramento played cold as ice every time Russell Westbrook would miss a shot, which is a great troll. Which can we say classic troll job, bro? Classic troll job. But the NBA has mandated that they can no longer play cold as ice whenever Russ. Here's Russ reacting to them playing cold as ice.
Russ, you're in a little bit of a shooting slump here over these last 4 games, though.
Man, who you telling? Make a fucking shot, boy.
The in-arena DJ had fun with it. I guess sort of where are you at?
Who?
Did you hear what they played? They played like cold as ice when you got introduced and stuff.
Who? The arena?
Yeah.
That's funny. They played that. I hope they played that the last 14 years too. It's funny they play it now. That's cute. That's cute.
When this stuff happens over the course of a career, but like,
dog, that had me dying, bro. That had me dying. When they was talking about, he said they need to play that the last 14 years, bro. I like, you know what? You know why I rock with Russ, dog? Because at least he can have fun with it. He's struggling right now. You got to find a way to have fun with it. You got to find a way to make it entertaining. I was just dying laughing at that, dog. Hey, they better play that for the last 14 years, bro. And I thought, no, dog, listen, it's okay. Like, sports is supposed to be fun, ain't it? Right? Like, are we that sensitive now? Even Russ is like, I didn't even pay attention to it. I didn't hear it. What happened? Like, are we that sensitive now? The DJ can't have fun with you? Are we to the point where I can't play a goofy song when you come out, or I can't do something? Like, you know what I'm saying? They used to do the doggone, what was it? It was the kiss cam, and they go over, and they put it on the players. Like, dog, like it's being goofy. Like, come on, dog. But I was dying, bro. I was dying laughing because I was cracking up at the fact that Russ was just like, man, they need to play that for the last 14 years. Like, boy, that's a fact and a half. Raging says maybe it's targeting him. If the fans sing it, then okay. But I don't know if a team doing it is okay every game and time down. He should be okay with it by now. Yeah, nah, it don't work. It don't matter. Like, Russ ain't heard it. It's for the fans. They had my mans on the screen. You know what I'm saying? It's for the fans. Russ ain't paid no attention to that. I was just, it was just one of them things that I looked at and I was just like, fam, it was just a great story. Speaking of the Lakers as well, man, still struggling. Talk about cold as ice. Lost to the Kings and Lakers fans still out here trying to be chesty. I had a Lakers fan hit me with the betting odds right now for the NBA championship, and the Lakers are still above the Bulls. And he was like, why don't you let Vegas tell you what's going on? And I was like, dog, if y'all don't get, that's where we at. We down to or trying to put the betting odds on the screen, my boy. That's what we down to. You trying to hurt me with the betting odds? You gonna have to do better than that. My team's sitting in first. Your team's sitting in seventh. But looking at the Lakers, man. Where does the issue come in with them? Where does the issue come in with them? Watching these games, where's the problem? Is it just that Russ is in a shooting slump? Is it AD's hurt? Is it Bron putting people out of position as always? Where's it come in at? Because Bron is balling right now. No lie. Bron is balling right now. But I think this team is poorly constructed for him to be successful. And with that, it's the team he wanted. Steve-O says the problem is the roster was built incorrectly. 100%. This is the team you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at this. I look at this Lakers team and there's some pieces to me that fit with this team. But majority of the pieces, Russell Westbrook does not fit with LeBron. You're trying to turn Carmelo Anthony into a spot-up shooter. That's not what Carmelo's been doing successfully out in Portland. He hasn't just been a spot-up shooter. And then we got the nerve to come out here and complain about Russ shooting. And Russ really ain't even running the point. Russ ain't supposed to be shooting. You got Russ out here trying to play two guard, essentially. It's like, what did you expect was going to happen? We saw this coming into this season. We were talking about this coming into this season. And here's the wild thing, right? Couple of additions at the trade deadline, could be a completely different team. But right now, like, yeah, Bron is playing out of his mind. Bron is playing pretty unstoppable. But I can't say that he's helping his team. Muggs want to hit him with the team's not helping him. You should have went and got a team that's built for you, dog. Damian says Russell Westbrook really doesn't fit anywhere, to be honest. That's not true. Russ fits on a team where he can play the point. Russ fit in Washington. If Washington doesn't trade Russ for Kuzma, Washington is still in the same position. Actually, because they lost. Well, has Russ been out the COVID? I don't think Russ been out the COVID. But I'm not finna sit here and be one of these mothers. Oh, why isn't Brian getting more help? Brian should get more help. This is the help Brian asked for. This is what Brian requested. Go get me Russ. I need a point guard. I'm tired of playing point. I want to not play point. You playing point, Brian. You've always played point. You're the point. Just be the point. Just be Magic Johnson. It's okay. Just do it. You put two ball-dominant dudes on a team and only one of them can shoot, and you're surprised that the one ball-dominant dude that's always got the ball in his hands and passes to the other one is surprised when Russ can't shoot. Russ ain't never been a shooter. Russ has been aggressive attacking the basket. Now Russ will shoot. I tell you that. Russ is that dude, he'd be like, dog, you ain't gonna shoot. Shoot. Ooh, dog, you gotta stop shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be the dude that's, oh my God, the Lakers I can't believe that they're in this position right now. Oh, somebody get Bron some help. He doesn't deserve this. This is exactly what he deserves. This is what you get for trying to play my GM for the past entire career. I want the players I want. I want my players on my team. I want my boys on my team. And listen, you got your boys. You got Russ. You got Melo. Guess what? That's what it is. And Bron is still playing unbelievably. Unbelievably. What is he, 37? He's still balling out his mind. And remember when he went there, he said, I want to take more of a backseat role. I want these young guys to step up and do more and blah, blah, blah. And then you traded all young guys. Kuz is gone. Lonzo's gone. Ingram's gone. I want these young guys to step up. You didn't want the young guys to step up. You didn't want the young guys to be there. Y'all remember how they did? Y'all remember how they did them, dog? Everybody was sitting away from Bron. Bron was sitting on the bench by himself. Everybody was at the other end of the bench because he didn't want none of them. That mess had me, dog. It's just I see the Lakers fans just like, Bron don't deserve this. This is exactly what he deserves. This is exactly what the Lakers deserve. This is how y'all built your team coming into this season. Everybody could see that this team was not going to play well together. Everybody. And the only reason I thought the team might play well together is because I thought Bron was finally going to take the backseat role. I thought Bron was going to come in and be like, oh, you know what? Let Russ play point. We'll have Monk at the 2. I'll take more to, come in, do what I got to do. AD getting big, blah, blah, blah. Let's get it done. No. Bron said, let me get that ball up off of you, Russ. Huh? Yeah, go over there, corner. Be ready to shoot. Shoot. So I laugh. I've been laughing all season, dog. I've been laughing at all the Lakers fans losing their mind. I've been laughing at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. What are y'all doing right now? That was funny to me, though. I'm not going to lie to you. That mess did have me dying. Because it was just one of them things that it was like, how do you... Now I'm honestly looking at the Lakers like, I got my GM hat on, like, how do they fix this? You know what I'm saying? It's like how do you get to that next level now? How do they get to the point where they're a competitive team in the East again? Or in the West again? Or can they? Can they get to that point? Can they fix this? Or is it over? Are the Lakers done? Because we know at the end of the season it's going to be a fire sale. That's one thing we do know. Billy Tate says, shows you that a lot of big names in this world, shows you that all the big names in the world don't equal wins. You know what, though? It's not that it doesn't equal wins. The team just wasn't built for Bron's success. Like that Miami team, honestly. Most of the people on that Miami team could shoot, minus D Wade, who didn't take a lot of threes. Chris Bosh can shoot threes. Mario Chalmers can shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? They kept bringing guys in that could fit into that three-point shooting role. Ray Allen could shoot threes. Wasn't Kirilenko there for a little bit or something like that? Kirilenko, like they kept bringing in, not Kirilenko, was it Kirilenko? Maybe it was. They kept bringing in dudes that could shoot. The last 2 years on the Lakers, the only dudes that really could shoot was Bron and AD. Kuz a little bit, but even he's a bad three-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of them like, dog, what, like why are we worried about having the names and not building the team right? And I get you got one ring out of it. I get you got that one ring out of it, but dog, like it's not, we all can see it. And I know you thought Melo was going to come in there and be the spot-up shooter for you. But that's not Melo's game. It hasn't been Melo's game. It wasn't Melo's game when Melo was in Portland. Melo would absolutely get that mug, jab step, bump, backing, bump, turnaround, J. So I just don't get how you thought this was going to work. And this is not hindsight speaking. This is not, oh, hindsight is 2020. No, this is what I expected to happen. Did y'all hear, Chicago Guard said, did y'all hear how LeBron wanted DeMar instead of Russ, but DeMar chose us instead? Well, I think the financials was off a little bit there. I think the Lakers didn't believe in DeMar. I did hear that. I think the Lakers didn't believe in DeMar. I think that's what that came down to. I think that the Lakers looked at DeMar as a aging piece, and they thought that he wasn't going to be the player that he's become. They thought that he was what he was in San Antonio, and they didn't want to pay him the kind of money the Bulls paid him for 19-7. But I'll tell you this right now, 19-7 would look pretty good on that team. And that's the thing too, right? Like just because you miss out on Russ doesn't mean, oh my God, or just because you miss out on DeMar doesn't mean now we got to go bet the farm on Russ. We got to get somebody. I think they wanted the like bring Russ home story more. But it's one of them. Is it worth it to bring him home? Billy Tate said AD just needs to come on home already. Man, I don't know, dog. I don't know. I love AD. AD don't be on the court enough and never has been. The best ability on the court is availability. Y'all know that's how I get down. AD don't be on the court. I told y'all, I love Kyrie. I would love to have Kyrie here. But I don't know, multi-year deal. You go get this young 1 year. Oh, he wouldn't come for that. That's okay. You know why? Because by the time the playoffs get here, he ain't going to be here no way. Just a quick preview for tonight's game, by the way. We got Bulls-Warriors tonight, 6:30. We will be live for that. Tune in and rock with us. I think Kid's actually going to be in studio with me because why is Kid going to be in studio with me? Oh, because I got to pick him up from the airport. He went out. Shout out to Kid, by the way, man. Went out, gave a TED talk out in Vegas in the field that he does the 9 to 5 in, man. Dominating the game. Shout out to Kid, man. So he should be back tonight. He might stay for the game, especially since it's a 6:30 game, so he wouldn't be getting back too late. And then we'll have Bulls post-game show as well, reacting to what we saw. Just to give you the injuries ahead of time, Draymond Green is out with a calf injury. Klay Thompson out due to rest, second of a back-to-back. They're not playing Klay in those second of back-to-backs. Gary Payton is out with a back. James Wiseman is out with a knee. For the Bulls side of things, Javonte Green out with a groin. Caruso out with a foot still. I haven't gotten an update on Caruso since he entered health and safety protocols. But on December 31st, it said he would be out at least 2 more games. So I'm trying to see. I'm scouring Twitter right now just to see if there's any word on Caruso. To tweet. As expected, Bulls officially list Alex Caruso out versus Warriors. He remains. So Alex Caruso must actually have legit COVID because he's remaining in COVID's protocols. The Bulls did sign Malcolm Hill, who's been on a couple of teams. He's been on Atlanta with a 10-day because Derrick Jones is out with that knee. Derrick Jones is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks with that knee. So we took another hardship exemption with Caruso being still on health and safety protocols. So he's been on that since. When did they put that out? He's been on health and safety protocols since. Okay, so he went in on the 5th. So it's the 14th now. So they're probably just being cautious, maybe, I would assume. Because I think you get 5 days to come back. But the Bulls are probably being extra cautious because of the outbreak they went through. So, yeah, we won't have Caruso tonight. We're also not going to have Derrick Jones, who's out with the knee. Tyler Cook is still out with that ankle. And, of course, P. Will, who's been out all season. So it's going to be interesting to see. Raging says, more worried about that power forward spot. What about Ilyasova? I don't know what's up with Ilyasova. I haven't heard anything about Ilyasova for a while now. Is he still on the team? Like, I haven't. Let me check the roster. Legit, I haven't heard Ilyasova's name brought up at all. Roster. Yeah, Ilyasova, I don't believe he's on the team anymore, y'all. I think he's out of there. I think they got him up out of there. I don't see him on the roster at all. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody on the Contender side who listened in. We're going to go till about 9 o'clock on this side, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us over on the Contender. We're going to finish out this last 5 over here. Y'all stay safe out there. Keep listening. Appreciate y'all. Peace. As we finish it out here, though, Got about 5 minutes left here. It's one of those, like tonight, I expect the Bulls to come out and get the win. And I like how Billy Donovan talked about this Bulls team the other day, right? I like how Billy Donovan came out and talked about what this team went through. Because when I look at what this Bulls team was struggling with, where the problem to me that popped up continuously was, man, we're not seeing this Bulls team play defense that well. We're not seeing this Bulls team compete on the defensive end. And I get, listen, you don't have Caruso, you don't have Javonte, you're missing a lot of your big dogs. But I expect to see better team defense from the Bulls tonight, 100%. I expect to see better team defense from the Bulls tonight, 100%. Because to me, I look at this team and I say, or let me say, I look at this team and I see defensive talent on this team, but you see that Caruso and those guys make it go. That shouldn't be the case. I need Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and Kobe White and Nikola Vucevic to be self-motivated to get out on the court, get back on defense, go after it. And you heard Billy talk about it in the presser. He was talking about, the Nets were up 25 and they still had guys diving on the floor to get the ball. I think the Bulls respond well tonight. I think that Billy's going to have these guys ready to go tonight versus the Warriors. The Warriors aren't going to come out and be no slouches, though, but they are dealing with missing some key defensive pieces themselves. They are dealing with missing some pieces that are I'm trying to think. They're missing some pieces that are going to be detrimental to them on the defensive end, right? And so the biggest thing that the Bulls can do tonight is attack offensively. The biggest thing we can do tonight is just continue to attack offensively because they're missing Draymond. They're missing Gary Payton. Those are major defensive pieces for these guys. Those are major defensive pieces for them. You have to attack on the other end. Force Stephen Curry to get put into defensive situations. Also, no Klay Thompson. Force, you know what I'm saying? Like force them to be put in tough defensive situations. But don't slack off on the other side. How many times do we see Patty Mills in the corner lacing up a three? How many times did we see easy dunks at the rim off of pick and rolls, off of that high pick and roll? And we've seen the Bulls adjust to that. We've seen Vooch adjust to that. We watched them do it in the Denver game. We watched them do it a few times this year versus Julius Randle. They came out, hit that high pick and roll. What the Bulls do? Start drop back, playing back. We didn't see that versus Brooklyn. There's an intensity there that you have to do. And I want to see the Bulls have that defensive intensity when Caruso's out, when Javonte's out, when, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I get those are your key guys. Those are your main guys that you're going to lean on. But that doesn't mean that you can't try on defense. Heck, James Harden laced the three in the face of DeMar DeRozan. DeMar didn't even put a hand up. I don't care if you don't jump. I don't care if you don't, but contest, put a hand up. So tonight, it's going to be key, and it's going to be big. Listen, the Warriors got punched in the mouth last night. You think they're not going to want to come out here and punch you in the mouth tonight? You have to respond well. And Zach has struggled shooting it the last couple of games. I need to see a big game from Zach tonight. I think we will see a big game from Zach tonight. DeMar's going to do what DeMar does, and I think to beat this team, Vooch is the key. We got beat by Golden State out in Golden State. They're not going to win tonight because I think there's going to be an effort to force the ball into Vooch. You see what happens to this Warriors team when you have a real big man in the middle that's able to dominate. You see it. Even with Draymond in there, even when you have a 7-footer that's in the middle and able to just turn around, make easy plays, that's what the Bulls have to focus on tonight. So it's going to be a fun night. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. Like I said, I'll be back up for the Bulls live call at 6:30. And then we'll do Bulls Post and all that stuff, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, it is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Appreciate y'all for showing so much love to your boy. Hey, to all the national fans as well, I appreciate y'all for showing love, man. See y'all tonight. Y'all stay safe.